Welcome back, everyone, to 1 Minute Recess, where we break down all the things Nevada and around the world that are going on and say, what the fuck is happening? My name's Annette. Maria?
And I am Maria Teresa, who is multitasking today, trying to keep tabs on the World Cup. And here, the life of a podcaster.
The truly important shit.
That's
She's
right.
doing World Cup. I will shortly be doing Love Island. These are the truly important things, friends.
Exactly. It's like when, because we have the World Cup on and they were actually doing news because now there's less games. And I was like, who gives a shit about the news? Let's talk about the World Cup still.
It's just depressing.
Forget
I
about
know
all that.
What's going on in the World Cup. I want to know what's going on in the island in Fiji. Like, tell me those types of things. Don't tell me the news. Just awful.
People are dying. Trump's an asshole. On to the next one.
The huge. We have a lot to go over. It's been a busy fucking week. Lots of shit to cover, both here in Nevada and in this country and around the world. Let us begin. It is 4th of July week. It is Tuesday, June 30th. We are quickly approaching the July 4th holiday, the 250th anniversary of our country. Wow. And I read an article today. The majority of Americans will not be celebrating. Can't imagine why. Yeah, they said that it was an independent article, and it said the majority of Americans do not feel patriotic this year or will be celebrating the 250th anniversary of our stolen land.
Like,
can't imagine why.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. For the first time, we're like aligned on the right thing, everyone. Like,
I mean, I have to stay at home and protect my dog from the mortars that will be going off around our home.
Literal.
Because she will literally be shaking all night. So that's my plan for the 4th of July. That's how I'll be celebrating.
Yeah, same. About the same. I mean, it's terrible that we are in a place where 250th, which is a big landmark, is just like don't even care, not even about the spirit, not even about anything of it.
But
like
Donald Trump, he held a big state fair in Washington, D.C. this past week, and it was a gigantic flop.
My God.
Just empty space all around.
Good job, everyone, for not showing up, literally.
I wouldn't have. It had a Ferris wheel. It didn't even have like a fair vibe.
Yeah, no, it's got a Trump vibe. That's it.
Yeah. Fake. Weird.
Fake as fuck and dictatorial as fuck. Something
One
even
day
Mussolini.
The power went out. The ice cream melted. Like, who wants that? That sounds horrible. That doesn't sound like a state fair.
That sounds
depressing.
Yeah, it sounds depressing and un-American.
So, anyways, happy 250th anniversary, United States of America.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, let's get into the rundown, shall we?
Yeah. So I will go through all the comments, but still lots of love for Hunter Biden. Just hearts everywhere.
I mean, I get it. I understand. Hunter Biden on Twitter, unhinged Hunter Biden is the best. I get it.
We do have, this is a question from, I'll finish off with a comment from YouTube, but this was a special question for you, Annette, from a one person named the Queen, who watched the explainer of especially the section where we were talking about special session. And you were talking about, what you could talk about, who has the power to declare a special session, do lawmakers have to go, etc. And she asks, if we can do that, why can't they just go every year?
Well, that just makes sense. Yes, they have the constitutional right to call themselves in with a certain number of lawmakers signing that. The governor can also call them in. And again, it's a very shortened, very particular agenda that they can call themselves in with, or the governor can call them in with. But in our Constitution, we cannot call a regular session every year. That would have to take a change of the Constitution in the state of Nevada to do. And it would be a vote of the people to do. And it's been on the ballot before, and Nevadans consistently don't vote for it because they don't understand that not having a functioning government isn't a good thing. Nevadans love and think that less government is more. Not having government meet is a good thing. It's actually a bad thing because you have less time to actually do the work of the people, and you have less time to actually balance the budget and make things work. And when there's a crisis, then you really don't have the amount of time you need to balance the budget and do the things you need to do. So if we want to change the Constitution and make our sessions annually, we should do that. Absolutely. Annette agrees. And that would take a vote of the people to do. And you could also do it like New Mexico, where they have like a budget session one year, like a 30-day budget session one year, and then they have a regular session next year. Because the biggest responsibility is the fiduciary responsibility of the government. That means the money portion of it. And so if we could do the budget every year, I think we'd be a lot better off as a state, and we wouldn't be trying to balance the budget for 2 years ahead of what we know we have money for.
So, AKA, this fucking sucks and we can't have nice things, and this is why.
Unless the voters wise up and do what we need them to do, and we have to put it on the ballot, and we have to change the Constitution, and we have to be able to give them the authority to actually go into session every year.
So what you're saying is people have to do something? Like,
I know. And they have to believe that more government is better. Crazy thought.
Crazy. Also crazy.
It doesn't work.
Also crazy. Remember when we were talking about the housing bill last week? Well, that's the last comment I will focus, because all the good ones are gone. Says, I know it takes time from recording to posting, but listening to you folks, this kills me, because the day after we both laughed at this. I know it takes time from recording to posting, but listening to you folks talk about the federal housing bill and asking, what's the catch? While the rest of us know what's coming is a gas. Because I remember us.
We literally, the day of, so great point, everyone. We literally said, some shit's gonna happen. Or I think we also even said, does he sign it? Does he not sign it? I don't see how he can't sign it. This is too good to be true.
Yeah.
And the very next day, all the good ones are gone. We were like, well, we kind of called that.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a gas. Horrifying seeing Donald Trump throw a temper tantrum and not sign the housing bill. To which Congresswoman Dina Titus, has been trolling his ass for the past week, being like, sign the damn bill, sign the damn bill. And he keeps going, people don't care about housing. Americans don't care about housing. So when we say, what's the catch? Or what's going to happen? Or is Donald Trump going to actually sign this? Or this seems too good to be true. It's because we understand how Donald Trump is. And the fact that he left the Republicans on the stage, just left them lingering up on the stage with no action, throwing a temper tantrum over the Save America Act, aka the bad voting rights bill. Horrifying.
It's
once in a generation bill, and Donald Trump won't sign it. Great. And then today, June 30th, the House adjourned because apparently the Republicans are in absolute chaos. Mike Johnson can't control his caucus, and shit has gone sideways in the Republican caucus. So here we are. Republicans in chaos. Great job, everyone.
Remember when they said that, like, it was forever, like when we were young and studying political science and stuff, and you would always hear that Republicans are the ones that really know how to govern and Democrats cannot govern.
Oh, yeah.
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 Now look at
that's not real.
Yeah, no.
Great job.
Yeah.
Americans don't need housing. Donald Trump says so.
No, there's not a housing problem.
There's no housing crisis. They don't need relief.
BlackRock is fine.
Yeah, totally. Everything's good. Fucking idiot.
So
anyways,
stupid.
yes, we were laughing about that too, because I literally texted Maria like the next morning. It was like, damn, well, that sucks.
And it really felt like, like really looking into the crystal ball.
Yeah. And what was so fucked up about it too is we had recorded like days before that. And so like they had literally just passed the bill. And so everything leading up to it was, he's going to sign it. He's got a signing ceremony scheduled. He's got this scheduled. He's going to do the thing. And then it happened and he walked out of the signing ceremony. So even had we not recorded the podcast, we couldn't have predicted that, but we knew something was going to be wrong.
That's right. We are well-weathered to read the tea leaves.
Skeptical. We are very skeptical.
Exactly.
So, yes, thank you for watching, and thank you for calling that out because we laughed too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and thank you for because that was pretty into the episode.
Midway
and
through,
Yeah, so you watched a pretty good chunk and
Yeah.
stuck around to comment. Thank you. All the good ones are gone. Speaking of skeptical, special session updates happening.
Nope. Zero updates. All the rumor mill has died down. Special session the whole thing has died down. I think, the Dems told the governor no. And that was it. The governor was like, okay. So I'll let you guys know if I hear any other rumors. But so far, and honestly, this week with the holiday at the end of the week and everything, I don't think many people are working, including the governor. I heard he's traveling. So
what?
I know.
He's out
Governor
of town?
Lombardo is traveling. My God. Ba, ba, ba. Somebody contact Aaron Ford and let him know.
Hello, wait, I can't use Attorney General.
AG Ford.
Hello. Sir, I would like to report it's not a crime,
A
but
missing governor. Listen, if we were a BBP still, totally would do that shit.
Listen, you open the door with the counting of how many days he's been out.
This is a man that went to a Mormon temple opening and missed a whole session when the legislature was meeting on that data breach. Remember back in August or September? And he was just gone. So I don't want to hear a fucking thing about AG Ford traveling for work, for being our attorney general, when Governor Lombardo is just MIA in fucking Elko opening a Mormon temple. I don't want to hear it.
And
Now he's traveling.
Well, it's the legislature. No, the data breach affected the entire state government, which is what he is the head of.
He claims he is the sheriff, leader, governor. So then lead, motherfucker. Lead.
Yeah, literally your entire administrative government
was impacted by this. So I expect you to be at the helm when shit hits the fan. I expect you to be there and understand the complications to our state government. The state government literally was not functioning because of the data breach, and he was just MIA in Elko opening a freaking Mormon temple. And you know that was a campaign stop. That's not a governor thing to do. Come on.
No. Boy. This is why we can't have nice things.
But Aaron Ford can't go and travel.
No, how dare he?
Spare me.
How dare he? How dare he?
All right. Well, thank you, Internet. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm happy that you're watching. That's great. Also, Maria Matthew Wilkie told me to tell you hi. He messaged me the other day about the podcast and about the Denny's thing that's coming up.
So, I don't want to make this about graphics, but
you're gonna. So, okay, let's go into the local lowdown for real now. So, our first story up is about a group securing a final piece of land needed for the Las Vegas NBA project, the Las Vegas Diamond Arena, everyone. We talked about this a few episodes ago because I was fucking raging about it. The original thing that we saw was kind of like a really, really rough draft of it. But it's gotten more serious because Tom Letizia, who is a well-known, well-respected campaign PR guy in Nevada, he had this on his story the other day. So I, of course, took a screenshot of it because it's like a real thing now. And this ad says, the Las Vegas Diamond Arena completes land acquisitions, adds private jet terminal site because it's right off of the airport. Strengthening position as premier NBA expansion destination. And it's got a whole little rendering of like what it would look like, how it's going to feel, all of that. I am assuming it's going to be somewhere along the area over there by Harley Davidson, across from like Mandalay Bay. And this is where whatever NBA team, I hear that there's certain investors starting to look into this now. They would be investing in this and in the team. So how much do we want to bet? And I got to give it to AG Ford. So this is something I forgot to send you. And I'm really proud of this because I actually was part of the team to review his economic plan. And so he actually added some really important stuff for one of the groups I work for, Moms Rising. He added a whole childcare section in there because I was working with him on that. So I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud of his economic plan because I think AG Ford's economic plan is actually very smart and very well done and very well thought out. You should look at it on his website. It's great. But in there, he mentions some of these projects maybe not being a thing going forward.
And you know what's crazy?
I know.
I was going to say, he was, everyone know Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium?
To be fair, that was more Kelvin than Ford.
Right.
Because Kelvin was in charge at that point. right? He had taken
Mhm.
over from him. So Kelvin Atkinson was in charge during the Raider Stadium nonsense. So Ford wasn't really involved in the whole thing, but A.G. Ford was the original thought behind the film tax credits. Now, this was like actual film tax credits, bringing the industry here, kind of doing it the right way, right? Like bringing the industry in, not building a movie studio. That was not what he originally did. This was back in like 2012. But his bill is what the new bills, where they were going to give all those tax credits, that is what it's modeled off of. So it's interesting to see some changes in his economic plan. That's all I'm going to say. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see how this moves forward. Does Lombardo call a special session for this nonsense? Does he want that? Does he want that before a very competitive election in 2026? Do we deal with this in regular session when we have no money? How do we deal with building a third stadium? How do you tell a shitty football team yes and a shitty baseball team yes, but you're going to tell a brand new expansion team no? Also, I go back to why the fuck can't the NBA play in T-Mobile? But here we are.
Yeah,
Because plenty of
exactly.
hockey teams share stadiums with basketball teams.
Yeah, they're gonna turn one of the World Cup stadiums, I think in California, into an aquatic center for the Olympics. Like, you can change things up if you must. How much do you want to bet that by whatever time this discussion comes around, Nevada's education system will be in the super low 50s?
There was just an
50,
article the other
51.
day that because of unenrollment, we're closing schools rapidly. We're down back at the bottom of the list for education. So, yeah. But let's prioritize a new arena because we need one more.
Yeah.
3's not enough. Let's make 4.
I got a new slogan. Our schools are our education system is garbage, but here's a diamond arena, the Nevada way.
So, the Nevada way. We'll see. But now, like I said, Tom Letitia is no slouch. He is a well-respected campaign person and knows PR, knows what he's doing. So when I see it on somebody like Tom Letitia's page, that makes it a little more real. We'll have to see.
Good times.
Okay. Our next Nevada story may be my favorite story of the week. Maria, you want to talk a little bit about this?
Sure. So
Because I know you have a lot of thoughts and feelings.
as we speak, we are recording this on Tuesday, June 30th. I was going to say June 30th.
That's right.
There is currently an extravaganza happening in Sparks at the Denny's on Nugget Avenue. And this is not to belittle Sparks or the Denny's or anything like that.
Or the Nugget.
Also, do you have to, like, even though you're having your event, can you use the event's, like, logo on your campaign if they didn't, like, endorse you? I know this is about graphics again, but Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony is spending his time with David Flippo, non-Nevadan, or new Nevadan, not a non-Nevadan, new Nevadan, for CD2. You can be confused because a while ago he was running in CD4, but now he's up in CD2 because that's available and easier, quote unquote. So an extravaganza at the Sparks Denny's.
Just am curious because, what is with the Republicans and Republican candidates in the state of Nevada holding events at random restaurants? Like, they're not like, well-known, small, like mom and pop restaurants or like unique food or like unique establishments. Sharon Engel literally had hers at a Red Lobster. And listen, that is not to say anything about them Cheddar Bay biscuits because they're delicious. However, the Red Lobster, and now we've got Stavros and David Flippo having their shit at the Denny's. And we're going to put up the graphic so you can see it. But it's just an interesting choice. And what makes it more interesting is it's a rally at a Denny's. So, like, you would think rally, like,
it's not
at
a fundraiser.
Park. Right.
It's not a fundraiser. It's not a dinner. It's not a get-together. It's not an open mic night. All these things you would envision in an indoor space.
Do their Republican supporters not have any, like, cool restaurants or something in Sparks?
Yeah.
They got to go to the Denny's?
Yeah, you don't have a place where you can, like, meet outside in the. That's a rally where you get to hang out outside.
Campaign space, right?
Yeah,
it's lovely. I was just up in Reno. It's lovely.
Can't even do it in a sidewalk. Sometimes we just show up at a sidewalk.
Yeah. Remember when we used to occupy Joe Heck's office on a regular fucking basis on the sidewalk?
Mm-hmm. No, Now we know we could have done it at a Denny's.
Who knew? Listen, and again, it's not to bash the Grand Slam. If you want to go have a Grand Slam, go have a Grand Slam. I just don't feel like a Denny's is a spot for a rally. But I guess with the two of them, that's like the energy that they're bringing is Denny's energy.
Yeah.
Also, Denny's at night?
Yeah, no, that's
Whatever.
where you go. That's where you, and it's not even like at a respectable hour where you just got out of a place and you need
Right.
carbs to suck up alcohol.
No, it's 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. Fucking weird.
Rally
I'm sorry.
the
It's
Denny's.
fucking weird. It's like a Red Lobster. I just think it's so weird to have a political event at like a weird ass chain restaurant.
And the pictures is not even like pictures of like them like rallying.
Rallying?
It's just official photographs.
They don't really inspire me to rally. I mean, they're two old guys who are just kind of dull.
Yeah.
Like when I see them, I don't think rally.
Yeah. And when we put up the graphic like somewhere around here, everyone let me know what you think of that glaring white blank space above Stavros Anthony's head. Meanwhile, everything else is cluttered.
Is full. Just chock full.
Oh, God. Ugh.
For those who don't know about Nevada, also, why Nugget is so important is there's a literal Nugget hotel gaming area in every county in Nevada. There has to be. The Nugget exists everywhere. We have a Golden Nugget in Vegas. Sparks Nugget. Carson City has a Nugget. The Nug exists everywhere. It's a very Nevada thing.
That's just, that should be our flag, not the Battleborn. It should just be
a nugget.
The Nugget.
And not a gold nugget, a chicken nugget.
Yeah, a chicken nugget.
Yeah, there's a weird article, speaking of David Flippo, on former James Settlemeyer backers falling in line on the Republican side and lining up behind Flippo, to which I say, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you.
Shame on you. And that's on the Nevada Independent. And then some interesting stuff happening at the school board. We should be keeping an eye on that. There's some interesting votes coming up around a lieutenant, apparently, that Joan Ebert's looking to appoint. He is looking to take over the Clark County School Police, and he's a current member of Metro. What could go wrong? That could be a huge problem. So some stuff at the school board levels that we should be paying attention to. So lots going on around the state. And yes, just because... Yeah, here's the article on public schools are closing all over Nevada as enrollment drops. So that's also on the Nevada Independent as well. I referred to that earlier. So lots going on around Nevada, even though it's a holiday week. Pay attention to the news, friends. Okay, let's get into our next part. WTF is happening here in the United States and around the world. Plenty
the
to
running
talk about.
of the interns at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, so let's talk about why courts matter, Maria. Let's go back to our old work, harken back to years and years of a decade of work on our courts and why courts matter. So just a little explainer on that. At our old job, we had a whole campaign called Why Courts Matter, educating people not just on the Supreme Court, but on the federal court system, the local court system, state courts, why they matter, and how they are impacting almost every decision that's made in this country. And so the right has done a really good job over the years of packing the courts, especially those courts where there are lifetime appointments, like the Supreme Court and the federal courts, with kind of right-wing extremists, and that is leading to many horrific decisions that we see today. This is something that started back under Nixon, Reagan. They had a plan on the right, and they have executed it very well at packing the courts. So let's start there. So this Supreme Court calendar started in October of 2025, and it ended today, the last day of June. Oftentimes, the most controversial or most important cases, of course, are held to the very last day for them to hand out opinions. They've been slowly trickling opinions all June. We've seen some come out in early June, but the really important ones were held until today. And what Maria is referring to of the running of the interns is they still kick it old school at the United States Supreme Court. And when a decision is handed down, the interns then run it out to news organizations, to, legal people, things like that. So that's the context. Let's talk about the decisions that were handed down over the last few weeks and today, Maria, because there was a lot of important decisions. Some good, some bad.
Yeah. So there were at least 3 very important ones. If you go on CNN's SCOTUS Day page,
And we'll put
you'll
this
see
in
it.
the chat.
there was, and I'm not, campaign finance is one of my very weak points, why I was never a fundraiser, but there was a big campaign finance case that came down
And
where
I can talk about that one.
they lifted a Watergate era cap on how much money political parties may spend in coordination with candidates. Do you want to tell us, Annette, why that is good, bad,
Yeah.
ugly?
Technically, so before today, PACs were not able to coordinate with candidates. It was illegal for a political action committee to coordinate directly with a candidate. That is what we call a wall in political terms. Those walls basically don't exist at the federal level anymore. Now, it'll be interesting to see if this applies to state PACs, but for now, federal PACs can directly coordinate with candidates now. Also, they've change the rules around campaign finance rules around corporations and how corporations can donate to PACs and candidates. So this completely overhauls all of the campaign finance stuff that we're used to applying to us. It's a huge case, and if you are concerned about money in politics, this is a case you should be paying attention to, because now PACs can coordinate directly with candidates, and that essentially takes away a whole bunch of the ability to operate independently and not have money influencing what candidates do. It's bad. It's real bad.
Super great, everyone. Super great.
Yeah. So, and what's crazy about it is it's not getting as much attention as it should.
Yeah.
Because of the other two cases today. It was like a blip on the radar, but for political people like me, we were paying attention to it. Because I think, and we got to see how this all plays out now, I think state PACs, because state PACs are governed by our state legislature. It is state law that governs state PACs, which is what I have. Federal PACs are governed by like the federal law. So like federal races are under federal PACs. So these are federal races, I believe, that will be impacted by this decision. So at this point, it seems like, and I could be wrong, state PACs will have more rules on what they can and can't do and how they can and can't coordinate than federal PACs do.
Again, up to the states. Up to the states. Speaking of states, the Supreme Court is letting states ban transgender athletes from playing on girls' sports teams. The ruling was a major defeat, and it came a year after justices allowed to ban care for minors. So that's a good one. This is why you can't put all of your hopes on the courts.
Literally, am so disgusted by this. This is a huge blow to our transgender family. It is a huge blow to LGBTQI rights. It is a huge blow to young people being able to live their real, authentic, true lives. And for anybody who wants to come in the chat and come at me on trans issues, I will fucking dance with you. These are one of the issues that is just a non-negotiable in my fucking household, a non-negotiable in my life. My trans friends, they're people that I love dearly and will protect to their death. Like, I have no room for transphobia in the chat, so don't even bring it on our podcast, because you will promptly be banned from our podcast. Like, that's how I feel about this. The fact that the court is wading in and allowing states to essentially check children's genitalia so that they can or cannot play sports is fucking disgusting. It is absolutely vile. It is against my core beliefs. Leave these fucking kids alone. It is a handful of kids this is actually even impacting, and let these people live their authentic lives. Like, I am far more afraid of a white man with a gun coming into a bathroom with me than a trans person every day, all day. I don't have a lot of patience for this one, because it is a hate-mongering, fear-mongering issue that should have never made its way to the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
It's
Well
going to do
said.
so much harm.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
And it's going to cause so many kids and young people that have been doing well in their lives because of the possibilities and the welcoming that a lot of these policies and advancements do in daily lives that, I mean,
Well, and there was just this article that came out a few weeks ago, and we should mention this since June 30th, last day of Pride. Nevada is one of the most welcoming states when it comes to LGBTQI rights. Thanks to people like David Parks and other pioneers in the LGBTQI space, former state senator, just a pioneer in LGBTQI rights, and has made Nevada a safer place for LGBTQI people. We are a safe haven. Maria, you and I were a part of a bigger campaign with many different groups to repeal the hateful, you can only marry a man and a woman campaign. We repealed that out of the Nevada state constitution in 2020. We have done so much work in this state to make this state an open and friendly state to our LGBTQI community. And to have some shit like this come down from the federal Supreme Court, it is disgusting. Absolutely vile.
Absolutely. Well, maybe third time's a charm with the Supreme
We're gonna
Court.
end on a good one.
Birthright
Barely.
citizenship. Barely. Birthright
5-4
citizenship.
decision. Jesus Christ.
Upheld. It was fantastic to hear that. Not only as an immigrant myself, but also because, you know, the lawyer who argued the case, the director of the ACLU, Cecilia Wang, who is fabulous. Essentially, you have to hear the way she explains it. And for people that are like, oh, this is about anchor babies or about whatever. No, this is about this. And on the 250th birthday, you would expect people to understand this, that on the spirit, on these days, you should honor the spirit of at least what was in paper and thought of, that no matter how you got here, and with what you came from, whether you came from a certain boat in Massachusetts or just got here because your parents crossed the border or you were forced to come here, no matter what, we all have the same citizenship status by being born here.
And let's go back further on this. You know, I was on a call this morning with a person I know, and he spouts off. He is conservative, and he spouts off with, "Oh, I bet you're happy about birthright citizenship." I was like, "Yeah, damn fucking right I am." Because let's really be real about what they're doing. First of all, they're upset about the 14th Amendment because they say that was about slavery, not about people coming here and being born here and then having citizenship. Well, first of all, those people that they were referring to were forced to come here. So yes, of course, they deserve citizenship of a country that they were forced to come to and enslaved in. 100%. But past that, this has been used since the beginning when the 14th Amendment was put in place. And it is how many, I would probably venture to say the majority of us, got here, right? And you're talking about the Pilgrims coming over in Massachusetts on a boat, and they came here and they settled here and they stole the fucking land. And then they created a country here off of land where people already existed and were already settled here. And then you go a step further. Now you have immigrants coming here. The majority of us, unless you're indigenous, are immigrants. And at some point, our ancestors immigrated here and were welcomed with open arms and then start having kids. And they were welcomed with open arms too. Even the Italians and the Irish, guess what? They still were welcomed, and we still got to come here, and we still got citizenship when we did. And so as somebody who comes from a lineage where my great-grandparents immigrated on a boat to get here to give us a better life from Italy. My dad, technically, is the first person born in this country, right? Because my grandparents were immigrants too. They were kids. So yeah, he was given citizenship because he was born here. They were already legally here, but they got here and then they had him. So how far back, if this was overturned, how far back were we gonna go? How far back was this whole birthright citizenship gonna go? And you know damn right well they were gonna start coming after naturalized citizens like you too. That was the whole point of this shit. Was to denaturalize people and start deporting people who disagree with them politically.
Yep. Not this another person who should have been affected if this were to have been a thing. Donald Trump.
Well, of course. Most of the Republicans would have been impacted at some point in their lineage because they're all immigrants. We're all immigrants. So I'm on the internet today before we start the podcast, and I have a rule on Twitter, so it doesn't take me long to get off of Twitter now. I have to stay on Twitter because my candidates are on there, but I have a rule where I scroll on Twitter until I see something racist, and then I have to get off because I can't deal with it. It took me about 5 tweets today. First thing I see is, next time you see a pregnant brown person in this country, call ICE on them. So you don't know whether the person is undocumented, documented, here for thousands. You don't know. You're going to assume they're brown, and then you're just going to call ICE on them. That's the right's new thing today. Because all of them, Stephen Miller, all of them are fucking up in arms. How dare the Supreme Court uphold the fucking Constitution of the United States? It's literally written in the Constitution. So to bring this back to the call this morning. So on the call this morning, the guy says, you know what? We need a constitutional amendment. I was like, oh, you want to open up the Constitution?
So
Let's
Second
do it.
Amendment. Second Amendment is up
That's
for
what
grabs?
me and Nick literally turned around and goes, so the Second Amendment's gonna go, okay, cool, let's have this conversation. Because if you want to open it up and you want to have a constitutional convention, let's fucking dance, people.
And for the people that are like, what? The way our Constitution works is once you open it up for one thing, you open up the whole thing. So we can't just go amendment by amendment. Once we think about reviewing one thing, the law is you got to review the whole fucking thing.
You
and guess what's
open
going
up
to happen?
the whole fucking document. So let's go. Let's
Everybody's
dance.
going to get in there and try to take everything else away. So,
because I can think of a few things I'd like to put in there. The Equal Rights Amendment would be nice. I'd like to put some protections in there for LGBTQI plus people. I'd like to get rid of the Second Amendment. So yeah, let's have that conversation. Come on. I'd love to review the Constitution with you.
Yeah, would love to. Line by line, literally.
Go. I'm sure half of them, most of them, majority of them.
Never read the thing?
Never read the whole thing. No.
Well, that was the Supreme Court today. The running of the interns.
It was fucking wild. I woke up this morning, I was like, bam, bam, bam. I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be happy, angry, sad, upset, good. It was a little mix of everything. Yeah. I do know Donald Trump is fucking furious somewhere and probably throwing a cheeseburger at the wall in the White House over this birthright citizenship one.
I thought you were going to say throwing a cheeseburger at a baby like he threw rocks at a baby.
I mean, this also was the same Supreme Court that, he appointed a whole bunch of them to lifetime appointments. Donald Trump's hand is in the mix on many of them, who last week told him the woman that he allegedly raped, that case was not going to be adjudicated by them.
They said, nah, don't care.
Pay up, Donald Trump. Pay up. So there's been some misses for Donald Trump with this court as well.
Yeah.
But apparently campaign finance laws don't exist anymore. And of course, this country is hateful towards trans people. Happy 250th anniversary, everyone.
Golf claps.
What else is going on in the world other than the Supreme Court being a hot mess?
Finally, someone from Congress is like, I have depression.
Well, this is the guy that's been missing in action for 4 months. So this is the congressman who just left. We've talked about it on the show before. Just was MIA. Mike Johnson wasn't telling anybody where he went. The congressman didn't tell anybody where he went. But the real icing on the cake is, so GOP rep Tom Keene, he announced today he had a depression diagnosis. So he was MIA for 4 months dealing with his depression. As somebody who has severe anxiety and depression, has been diagnosed with such, I wish I could take 4 months off to deal with my anxiety and depression. Must be nice. What is interesting about this is he has had this mysterious absence. This is on CNN, but it's been reported all over the news today. He had this mysterious absence, didn't tell anybody where he was. Staff wasn't allowed to tell anybody where he was. Mike Johnson couldn't give an explanation of where he was. He wasn't doing the work. He missed over 140 votes. Comes back today. He's like, yeah, I was gone. We need to be talking about mental illness. This is a serious thing. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. This is the same man who, when he was in the New Jersey legislature, voted against paid leave for the citizens of New Jersey.
Wow.
So this motherfucker took 4 months off to deal with his depression, but couldn't give the same rights to the people of New Jersey. Fascinating.
Yeah. Meanwhile, plenty of other people in New Jersey go to work depressed. Or worse.
Every day or worse. Right.
Must be nice.
So this just goes back to the thing that I always like to talk about with the Republicans, how hypocritical they are. That he needed paid leave. He needed time off to deal with a very serious medical condition, because depression and anxiety are very serious medical conditions that deserve to be taken seriously and deserve time off. He thought he deserved it, but the people of New Jersey did not.
I believe that's the definition of a hypocrite.
Hypocrite. With no explanation to his constituents, to the voters of New Jersey, where the fuck he was, while the taxpayers of this country are paying his salary. No explanation of where he was. Just MIA. Got it.
Must be nice.
Let's take it a step further. Where the fuck is Mitch McConnell? Because nobody's heard from him either.
I don't think he's alive enough to be depressed.
I don't think he's alive anymore either. Or they're going to weekend him at Bernie's, prop him up. I don't think he's alive anymore. There was also a weird story today. I don't know if you caught this. Right after all the announcements came out for the Supreme Court, there was a thing that NPR put out today that they almost immediately retracted, but I caught it, saying Justice Alito today was going to retire.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, motherfucker. I mean,
Chuck.
Alito's a conservative crazy anyway, so we would just be replacing one conservative crazy with another. But
you know John Roberts is going to have a fit tomorrow with the Supreme Court staff. Too many leaks happening in this place.
Right? Like, where, because NPR wouldn't just have gotten that randomly from somebody.
No, that's somebody talked to someone and said,
yeah, it was too specific, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, anyways, I caught that today too. I thought that was very interesting.
Amazing.
Okay, the last story, and maybe my favorite story of the whole week, because it's been a crazy news week.
Yeah, this
Maria,
is a wild one.
And I actually saw the picture of it, so it's great.
There are baptisms, and it's not, you can check your calendars, it's not April 1st.
It's an above ground pool.
They have a, I don't want to ruin my house and don't have an in-ground pool, so I have a pool that I installed on top, and people are being baptized in it at the state fair where the ice cream, melted and everything. Fair.
They have a whole tent for baptisms. Okay, now let's just think about this for a minute, okay? The United States of America, the country that is celebrating its 250th birthday on Saturday of stolen land. They have a separation of church and state. It was why the whole country was actually founded, right? Like, pilgrims came over, they were like, hey, let's steal some land because we're being persecuted in England because we can't practice our religion. We want to be free from England and we want to be able to practice our religion. The whole freedom, the whole premise,
the whole shtick
of why we stole the land in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now fast forward 250 motherfucking years. There is a horrible state fair taking place with one Ferris wheel and melted ice cream in Washington,
plenty of baptisms.
There is a whole ass motherfucking tent with an above ground pool and a church pew. And they're doing baptisms at a state sanctioned, government paid for, taxpayer paid for event. What?
That sounds right.
You can't even make this shit up.
No.
And I'm like, can you just read a fucking history book? I like what the whole premise of why the whole thing started.
You need to stop at can you read?
Read.
Like an actual question. Can you read?
No, that's a good point. Listen, that's a very good point. I forget.
I love how they had a pew.
There were several. It was like folding chairs, and then there was like a whole stage where I don't know. I guess they were performing church services too. I'm just assuming based on what was inside the tent.
Listen, this is where you're like, many churches have done things wrong, but Jesus, I'm glad that my baptism at least was nice church. Like the Catholics, like they do the baptisms are nice. I'd hate to be baptized next to a folding chair. I mean, I don't mean to be all, but sounds awful at a state fair where there's one Ferris wheel. It sounds like a Parks and Rec episode, but we know Leslie Knope wouldn't mix church and state, but it still sounds like one. Baptisms next to tents and government buildings.
Yeah, fake government buildings with the 3D facade that's held up by staples. All right, well, let me see before anything else happens, before we leave this. Speaker Johnson abandons floor agenda, sends members home early amid GOP rebellion like we were talking about. Oh, tonight is the primary in... Wow. Tonight is the primary in Colorado, and Colorado AG Phil Weiser defeated Senator Michael Bennet in Democratic gubernatorial nomination. That's a surprise. That's an upset.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, wow.
Nice. Congrats, AG.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's been a ride. This experiment of America has been a ride, everyone. Happy
and it's soon over.
250th birthday.
No.
All empires rise and fall. I fear we're in the fall part of that.
And boy, are we falling. Like we're going to splat any moment on the car.
It's like a free fall.
Yeah. Yeah. Like ours is not going to be well known and glorious. I mean, the Empire of Rome wasn't so glorious, but it's mystified. It's like, ooh, the fall of Rome. Ours is just going to be they just splattered onto the concrete. Like an old TV being taken out.
Yeah. It's real bad. All right. Well, that's the final bell, everyone. I know Maria has soccer to watch, aka football, real football.
Mm-hmm. Football, Mexico.
I have Love Island to watch. Before we go, Any hot takes or headaches? I know I have one. Any hot takes or headaches for this 4th of July week, Maria?
Because July is also when the World Cup is happening, I'm gonna make it about the World Cup. And I'm gonna say I hope that it's an underdog World Cup because that's rare.
That's what I
And
said yesterday to Nick.
even though I love all my teams and one of them is gone, one of them is not an underdog, but one of them kind of is, but they're a host, so they have some all of the the other day Paraguay just blowing Germany out of the water was beautiful to watch. Like,
listen, I always cheer against the teams that Maria and my husband like because they like the same teams.
Yeah,
you gotta like if
you
there's
gotta
like
cheer.
An underdog that I'd love to see win, I'll cheer for them.
Yeah.
It's like when Croatia won in 2018 when we were in Europe, and we were all like, "Yeah, hell yeah, Croatia!"
And if there's one player that deserves a World Cup, it's Luka Modric. Like, true.
I'm not gonna lie though, the other group that I always cheer for, no matter what, because I love him to death, and I think he's the greatest soccer player ever. I always cheer for Argentina because I love Messi. He's like my favorite.
Messi's great. Maradona is the best, but he's good. Yeah.
I mean, ish, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank Argentina needs to thank Barcelona for developing him and telling them
100%
to hire him when they were like, 100%. No, he's too sickly and tiny.
Well, and the United States needs to thank Argentina for our current coach, and the only reason why the United States is still fucking
literally the only
because we have sucked ass for decades, and it's the only reason why the United States is still in this is because of our coaching.
Literally the only reason. We needed a foreigner to be like, this is how you actually do it, everyone.
Yeah, like actually have some discipline and do some shit. Work.
Yeah, and actually suffer, because that's what the sport about. It's about suffering.
Yeah, but also, you still have your hydration breaks.
That's fucking stupid. This is why headache is fucking FIFA. Fucking FIFA just, we're all in a...
It's always bad.
Somebody
asked me the other day, are Maria and Nick going to the World Cup? I was like, well, they hate FIFA, so I doubt it.
I don't want to give FIFA my money.
Yeah, 100%.
Ever. No. So, and sometimes just watching it with your friends at a restaurant or at home in your PJs is the best. Because fuck FIFA.
100%. Mine is really not a hot take or a headache. Mine is a celebration. So it's the proper way to end this conversation. I want to wish Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, if they really are getting married this week, a very happy marriage. I'm very excited. It's like a royal wedding in the United States this week.
And what if they get married on July 4th?
We've heard July 3rd. That's what the Swifties have heard. So the Swifties are all on Swiftie alert right now, looking tomorrow, looking Thursday, looking Friday to see if there's a big wedding celebration. We hear that it's happening at Madison Square Gardens, but we also know Taylor Swift is the queen of, drawing our attention elsewhere so we can see what's going on. And so I suspect she's actually getting married to someone else. But we'll see. It's also a great place for security and making sure that it's private. So wherever they get married, I hope they have a great marriage. And I hope their wedding is spectacular. And I hope we see beautiful images of it.
Yeah. Congrats.
What'd the queen say?
She said, where did you go, pendejo? Because they just started and missed a shot.
All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go give my dog drugs because I just heard a firework going off outside my house. So everyone, keep your animals safe this week because it's going to be a fucking doozy out there for the 250th anniversary of this nightmare. And I hope you have a very safe and happy 4th of July. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe. Subscribe.
Sorry, because as my mom is cussing, your husband is texting me. So this must be lit.
Yeah. Okie doke. Well, I'm going to go drug the dog. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. And we'll see you next week. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all the things. See you later.
All the stuffs. See you later. Bye, everyone.